Hey all you Slashaholics! Welcome to Slash Sisters. I am Slash Sister Jen.
Well, that's Slash Sister Jen, then I'm Slash Sister Hallie, and we want to welcome you back to our channel for horror movie reviews by true horror movie fans.
And, hey, are you new here? Because if you are, you need to make sure you slash that subscribe button. Because we are here every week to make sure that you get all the horror movie reviews that you want and crave from us, your horror mistresses. Woo!
Can we legally call ourselves that? This is about fire. I mean, I don't want to get sued.
I don't think she can call us the... She's the mistress of the dark.
Okay. I just don't want to get sued by Cassandra Peterson.
No.
Okay?
That's my girl.
I'm just saying. I know. I just gave me that keychain.
I know. We share a birthday. We're birthday sisters.
Today we continue our path down the world of Clive Barker, even though he technically had no involvement with this one whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
And continue our journey down the Sweet for Sweets path with Candyman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
needless to say, we don't have a lot of good things to say about this, but if you want to keep watching, by all means.
Please do, because we'll at least have funny things to say.
Oh, yeah.
I've got plenty of funny things to say about this movie. Anyways, so why don't we look in the mirror and you'll understand that everything's bittersweet when you're the Candyman.
Ice 9 puns gotta
Every
stop with
time.
you. I swear to God.
Every time.
We start our movie with a dream sequence where we meet our main character for the movie, Caroline McKeever. Is it McKeever?
McKeever, I think.
I thought it was okay. I
No,
thought
it's
it
different.
McKeever.
Maybe,
I don't know.
I don't
Whatever. Daughter of Annie from Farewell to the Flesh, and we also have a time jump of approximately 25 years.
So let's do the math here.
Right.
At the end of Farewell to the Flash, like we had to do this right before we started recording because I was convinced that it was supposed to be the year 2020 that this takes place in. But Hallie reminded me that Caroline is 5 years old at the end of Farewell to the Flesh, which takes place mostly in 1995, but we get a 5-year jump at the end of the movie, which takes us to the year 2000. And then we get a 25-year jump to this movie. So that puts us in
2025.
Next year.
So this movie hasn't happened yet. Interesting.
No, wouldn't it be nice if we could just, like, erase it? Make it not happen?
I pretend like this one doesn't exist.
I do, too.
Anyways, we get another retelling of the Candyman origin story because we just cannot get enough of it. And I hate the fact that they fucking changed. I understand it's a completely different production company.
Expand.
No.
They did change it.
They completely changed the origin story. Not completely changed it, but they had to shoot new footage because it's a different production company and they didn't have the rights to two.
Go figure.
This is also directly to video. I mean, it was like so poorly received.
I heard that it went like straight onto HBO too. Like it was a direct to video and straight onto HBO.
I mean, it's one thing to go straight to video. It's another thing to be like immediately.
Okay, but like
HBO.
Now that's not a big deal.
Well, no,
because
nobody has fucking cable anymore.
Exactly, totally normal for it to go straight to Max, and not. Not even hit a theater, especially in the early days of 2020 when theaters were practically closed.
Well, I mean, COVID and everything.
Exactly.
And then the SAG-AFTRA strikes kind of shut everything down again.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, Caroline is telling her roommate friend Tamara about the origin story of Daniel Robitaille. Not specifically the Candyman origin, but like the story of Daniel Robitaille.
Right.
Like how he was an artist and misunderstood.
Right, and Caroline is actually in possession of all of Daniel's
I wonder
artwork.
how long it took her to track that shit down.
I do too. Well, 25 years at least.
Well, I mean, she's 30 years old.
Okay, yeah, so she's 30 years old. Probably at least the last 10 years she's been working on trying to track this stuff down. Maybe longer.
Probably.
But she has organized a showing at a local gallery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this art, would you call him a dealer? The owner of the gallery?
He's the gallery owner. That's all I would call him. I wouldn't call him any more than that.
Miguel, the gallery owner, makes the whole show about Candyman once he learns that Daniel Robitaille was the basis for the urban myth of Candyman.
Right.
Which makes Caroline very, very upset.
Which, I mean, I would be too. If I was, like, trying to show work of my family and somebody made it about some awful myth,
Right, well, and that...
Or at least what most people believe to be a myth.
That Caroline is also haunted by the vision of her mom saying, kill the myth, kill the myth.
Right, exactly.
So,
at the gallery show that evening, Caroline summons the Candyman by saying his name 5 times in a mirror. Like, she should know better.
I really have a problem with the actress playing...
Oh my god, she's awful.
Well, because... You know that she was in porn before.
Yeah, and she was on Baywatch, and she's just not a good actress.
She's a terrible actress,
it's
and
so
the blonde dye job on
Oh.
it is so terrible.
But like literally every scene, she's like just like staring into the camera, and especially
Staring
like
into the camera, and when she's smoking,
especially when she's like being hypnotized by Candyman, by Candyman.
Yeah, Virginia Madsen did a way better job.
Virginia Madsen actually got hypnotized on set by a real hypnotist.
Well, that's because she was afraid of the bees, not Candyman.
Yeah, but Bernard was able to use that to his advantage.
No, 100%.
For many scenes in the movie. Anyways, this woman, what's her name? Some Donna Danica or some
Danica, well, right there, yeah.
Whatever her name is, she's not a good actress at all. And literally, like, every scene she just makes worse.
Mm-hmm. And this is the only one that I was actually rooting for Candyman to kill the bitch.
Yeah.
Just as she finishes, a man comes crashing into the gallery wielding a hook, who is now a stranger to our channel because he was in another film. 15 years prior, he was in Nightmare on Elm Street, and he went by the name Nicky Corey.
Right, he was.
But his name is like Jesus Garcia or something like it. He changed his name from his true Hispanic origin name to sound more Italian to get better roles.
Right. And it's kind of funny because I will say, like, the one good scene, decent, accurate, maybe, scene in this movie is when he's talking to Caroline about, like, how, it's later in the film, but he does say something about, like, you can't do that when you look like me, referring to himself as a brown man, which he is. It's very poignant, I think, at the time, because eventually he does have racist cops following him as well. I mean, we're getting to there. We're getting there.
But anyway, we find out that Miguel hired David. That was the
as an
actor to drum up business for the gallery.
Did we tell them? I don't think we told them where we've seen him before. He was Rod in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes, we didn't.
He plays Tina's boyfriend in Nightmare on Elm Street. So yes, that is what we know him from.
Wow. Both films he's accused of being the slasher. Both films he has the cops following him and harassing him.
Weird.
Stereotype much?
Little bit. Shortly after, Caroline has her first encounter with the Candyman. She's in like a subway.
Yeah. So
how did she end up in the subway? Is she like leaving the gallery, like going home or something?
She was pissed off at Miguel.
Not gonna lie, there was definitely times that I stopped paying attention.
She was pissed off at Miguel for hiring David as the actor to drum up the
right,
Candyman
and she was
mythos.
just like kind of stormed off.
And she stormed off.
Okay.
She's like, I'll find my own way home. She gets down into the subway tunnel, which was actually a set, not actually a real subway tunnel.
Right, and they found some kids that were like tagging
other
in an actual subway, and they hired them to come and paint.
Paid him like $100 a day to paint the shit in their right.
Yeah, exactly. They came and painted the set for him, tagged the set for him.
I am upset with what they did with our boy Tony Todd and Candyman in this. They took him from a psychological mind fuck of a villain.
First off, the very first time that we see him, he comes floating down the subway.
No, that's not the first time we see him. The first time we see him is in the dream sequence at the start of the film.
True.
But the first time we actually
see
see
him as the
him,
Candyman, as this myth that has been called.
Right.
He's floating on a bunch of really bad CGI-Bs. They're just, it's just bad. CGI-Bs? CGI-Bs? CVG? Yes. CGI-Bs.
I should have worn my CGI shirt. That would have been funnier.
It would have been funny. But, yeah, it's what they've done to Candyman in this movie.
They took it, like I said, they took him from the psychological mind fuck that he was and turned him into an ordinary slasher.
Like, especially in the first film, the way that he talked to Helen was so seductive.
Right. Be my victim.
Yeah.
And he says it in this, but it sounds stupid in this one.
It sounds creepy.
Well, it's creepy because it's his great
but not creepy like in a way that I'm like, ooh, that gave me the chills. No, creepy in a way that like, I'm like, ew, Candyman.
Mm-hmm.
Do that? That's your fucking granddaughter.
I mean, I could listen to them talk all the time, but not in this.
No. I could listen to him. I could listen. Even in this, I could listen to what he's saying and just. But it's not the same as the first, especially the first one. But I could listen to Tony Todd talk. Any day.
You know, he did the audio book version of Ice Nine Kills, Silver Scream, right?
Well, I guess I'll be listening to that tonight. Anyways, she passes out and wakes up on a park bench just outside of Miguel's apartment and goes inside to confront him about what happened last night, I guess. Only to find Miguel and his girlfriend, or lover, or fuck buddy, or whatever.
Yeah, because he didn't even know her name.
His thing. Thing.
He didn't even know her name last night. Finds them dead, basically, at the hook of Candyman?
Yeah.
Candyman?
Yeah. Candyman's hook hand.
Candyman.
Candyman. Anyways, so, of course, when the police show up, this is where we get introduced to these... Well, first we get the good cops.
The black cop, played by Ernie Hudson Jr.,
right.
The son of Ernie Hudson, the Ghostbuster.
Mm-hmm.
I loved him in this.
Yeah.
He actually has done a few other things.
He hasn't done a ton of acting. He's very much a... human rights activist in his everyday life.
Right.
So.
But then we also get, I can't even remember the cop's name, but he's played by, like, Wade something. Wade Williamson or...
Yep. We're doing this a lot in this video.
Yeah.
We just didn't care that much, so then...
Well, no, because he played... It's funny because he played a CO in Prison Break.
Oh, really?
He almost always plays, like, a law officer or a cop of some kind in everything he's ever done.
Yeah. A lot of typecasting in Hollywood. It is what it is. But yeah, so then the police show up and of course they want to blame David because the cops did show up and be all racist for him last night before.
So because the cops were called over the whole incident with him perpetrating the hoax or whatever. Mm-hmm. But on top of that, Miguel's gallery was broken into, and all of Caroline's paintings were stolen.
Right.
So there's that we have
so
to
yeah, the paintings are stolen. Miguel and his mistress, girlfriend, his friend for the evening, yes, are dead. We do see a little like flashback of that, like of us
as Caroline is walking in, and how the fuck she would know what was going on is beyond me.
Because this movie makes no damn sense. Anyways,
Caroline talks to her roommate Tamara about the Candyman. It is revealed via flashbacks that the Candyman killed Caroline's dementia-ridden mother after she called him.
Yes.
After she destroyed him.
Right. But then she called him again. Well, dementia.
Huh?
Dementia does a bit of something, I guess.
I don't know. How could she call him when she destroyed him?
I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know.
This film honestly should not exist.
It really shouldn't.
It's literally. It's quite literally.
The Candyman is supposed to be destroyed. Like the myth is supposed to be gone. Like
it's quite literally somebody trying to cash in on the whole legacy of whatever.
Yes. But even though Annie summoned him, and she had her throat slit.
They determined it was a suicide.
Self-inflicted. Yeah.
I would like to see somebody slit their fucking throat from side to side and not fucking stop. No, actually, I don't want to see that. I take that back. I don't want to see that. I strike that, reverse it. I don't want to see it, but I'd like to see a cop fucking explain it.
Exactly.
Or mortician or medical examiner.
Anybody. Yeah, anybody explain that to. Nobody can slit their own throat. It's just
not from side to side. No. I think you would get about halfway through and then you bleed out enough. Yeah,
or you would just be in too much pain to continue. Like, I mean, that takes a lot. Anyways.
Yeah, we're getting off topic here.
Yes, we are.
But Caroline is convinced now that Daniel Robitaille's Candyman, because let's face it, there are different Candyman.
Yes.
And we'll get to that in the fourth one.
Yes, we will.
But she's convinced that it was Daniel Robitaille that killed her mother.
Right. There is we get a lot in weird flashbacks with her mom, but she tells her in one of the flashbacks, her mom, Annie, tells her that she has to destroy the myth.
Mm-hmm. Destroy the myth.
Whatever.
The way that, and we'll get to the way they do it, the fucking stupid content.
Oh, it's so bad! Anyways, the murders end up pinned on David, the actor who pretended, from the gallery opening. But yeah, the cop that is on the case, literally, it just keeps making.
He's been investigated multiple times by IA for dubious arrests at best, gross misconduct of force, racism. Because let's face it, he's fucking racist. Mm-hmm. Him and his fucking partner.
Yep.
Both of them.
His partner's not as bad. I mean, not as overt. Doesn't have as many obviously racist lines.
No.
But I mean,
but that's because the other guy was supposed to be the bigger star.
Well, and if you stand by and let your partner talk like that, you're just as much of a piece of shit as they are.
It might be worse.
Carrying on.
Yes. While David and Caroline. Yeah, I said it. I don't care. While David and Caroline attempt to find the gang, because that's what they're blaming it on, and it was a gang, honestly.
Yeah, I guess you could call them a gang.
Right. That stole the paintings. They are in a bar when Caroline goes into the bathroom and has another psychotic breakdown, if you want to call it, because
vision.
All she can do is fucking scream, and she does that terrible.
Or just pass out. She's like, the way that she passes out, the way that she falls, like her legs don't even go limp. She's like slowly falls to the side.
You're absolutely right.
I passed out. No, it's bad. She's a terrible actress.
You're so right. I didn't even
catch that. Anyway, she comes clean to David about who the Candyman is in relation to her. She finally tells him, hey, the Candyman, Daniel Robitaille, this guy is actually my great grandpa, or however many grapes. Grapes?
Grapes are rat?
It's his great grandpa. Anyway.
I'll take some grapes.
He then takes her to see his abuela, who's like a psychic and a healer, and I don't give a shit who she is, but that bitch killed Selena, okay? And if you don't get that reference, there's this movie called Selena, and it's about, it's got Jennifer Lopez in it.
Selena's
and it's about the real, pop star named Selena, and the bitch that plays abuela is the one that killed her in the movie. This is the very first thing that I saw. I was like, that bitch killed Selena! Anyways.
There's another version of Selena that's on Netflix starring, oh god, the girl from Walking Dead. What was her name? Christian Serratos.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyway, she informs Caroline that she has to destroy the good part of the Candyman in order to get rid of the evil, showing Caroline that the good thing about him is his paintings and that she needs to destroy them. Okay. First, she has to fucking find him.
Yeah, no shit. But we've got a goal now. We know what we've got to do. We've got to destroy the paintings.
Because I'm sorry. Let's just stop right here for a second. Because as convoluted as this entire fucking story is, this part actually confuses the fuck out of me. Because they're Hispanic.
Yeah.
So they know nothing. They know about rough times and slavery and stuff.
Sure,
like that.
But they're not. It's not the same life experience.
No. So how the fuck does she know how to destroy something that exists because of what happened after World War or after the Civil War?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. According to the mythos that we've had thus far, which has been changed because he died in Cabrini Green in fucking the first one, and it was supposed to be in Louisiana
in the second. Now we're in LA. So.
Yes.
Although, she doesn't change the location.
No.
In this one.
No, they don't change the location.
Right.
So it's supposed to be, again, Louisiana.
Right.
But I'm just... I don't understand how... I'm not making fun of Mexican culture. I just don't understand how she would know how to get rid of this evil that is not from...
Well, she is a psychic.
Okay, sorry.
She just knows, okay, Hallie? Come on.
I mean, well, it's our smart.
Yeah. Anyways, afterwards, the Candyman kidnaps David and keeps him stored up in some unknown building, hanging from chains, covered in bees.
With the hooks pierced through his back.
Yeah.
Which I have a problem with when Caroline gets to him.
And she just, like, pulls him down and there's suddenly no blood.
No, she rips him out of his back.
Oh, that's right. But then later, when she comes back to him, he's suddenly not bloody anymore.
Yeah.
There's a lot of...
After Candyman kills Caroline's roommate Tamara, Caroline is taken in for question by the racist cop Kraft and his partner Detective Sacco.
Yeah. So basically, like, because
Detective Fucko.
Yeah. Because she's, like, in every place that the Candyman attacks, or they're all, like, people connected to her, they're trying to maybe say, like, what's her connection to this, and is she in trouble for it. But Sacco then gets murdered by Candyman. While she's in the car.
Handcuffed in the back of the car.
Right.
Which, let's face it, even in fucking LA, nobody in an unmarked cop car would put somebody in handcuffs and put them in the back seat without a fucking cage between them.
Yup. But now they all think that she's the killer.
Yeah, because she unlocked her handcuffs and dipped.
Yeah, well, I mean, wouldn't you?
No?
Maybe. I don't know.
Because if I was still handcuffed, there was no fucking way in hell I could have killed her.
True.
So I've had a few brushes with the law. So.
Hey, I ain't no angel either.
Have you heard that scoff? That was our producer in the background laughing at my stupidity. Whatever. Caroline wakes up with a ball gag in her mouth. Ooh, kinky.
Yeah, a little bit.
Surrounded by a group of stereotypical late 90s versions of goths with fake piercings and bad makeup and
really bad makeup. There's some really, really bad makeup and hair in this scene. Like,
actually, I don't know if y'all can see these fucktards down here.
They're supposed to be representing this group of goths, I guess you could
call
them.
I can.
But we did actually see these people at the beginning of the movie.
This one right here is actually the one that talked to her in the bar that brought her or told her where to go.
Right.
This one right here.
Yeah, conned her into going to the place where the paintings supposedly were. Which they are there. Yeah, she does retrieve them at this point.
The paintings are there.
Yes.
So is David being hung by a hook.
Yeah. But this group of goths, as we can call them, fake goths, for sure, claim to be the Candyman's new congregation.
Until one of them calls him.
And Candyman promptly kills everybody.
Murks every last one of them sons of bitches.
Bye! They deserved it. Every single one of them deserved it. They stole the paintings, they made a mess of the whole situation, and they were just obnoxious.
Yes.
Ugh.
What is blood if not for shedding? No. Sweets to the sweet is such a better line.
Mm-hmm.
That's in Be My Victim.
Yes. So Caroline ends up, like, exploring the building and finds David alive. And, like we said earlier, pulls him off of his hooks.
She lowers him down. He gets down to the, like, where his feet are touching the ground.
Yeah, and then she, like, pulls them out, doesn't she? Yeah, she
not
doesn't even, unhooks them.
Like, literally rips them out of his... Which, mind you, there was not a lot attaching those hooks to his back.
True.
Because
True.
She would, in order for the weight to support him, she would not have been able to rip those out.
Right. Yeah, because they had to have been through muscle and stuff.
Right. Anyways. So I'm going into physics here, which obviously no one taught this fucking crew about.
Right. So yeah,
the Candyman shows up again and attempts to convince her to give her life to him and be his victim. Yeah, that's not creepy at all, right?
No, that's his granddaughter. Totally cool to, like, hit on your granddaughter and be like,
great granddaughter.
Yeah, that's true. It's father's father.
Anyways, mother. Because it's her mother's line. And it was her mother's line.
Yeah, so then Caroline... Yeah. So then Caroline sees this big pile of bones and shit. I mean, how else can I describe it? It's just a big old pile of bones.
It's a pile of shit with a few bones
scattered
on top of it.
Probably actual shit. But yeah, and then there's like the Candyman painting, right? Well, Daniel Robitaille's painting.
Right. A self-portrait that Daniel Robitaille apparently painted while he was alive.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the portrait of Caroline's great-great-great-great-grandmother looks like a fucking 90s glamour shot.
It definitely does. And all of the paintings don't look like paintings. They're just drawings with like a painting.
No, they're not even drawings. They're superimposed photographs.
Photographs, that's what I meant.
They're photographs printed on a fucking canvas.
Yep. They're bad.
Terrible.
Not good.
God awful.
Anyway, so she sees Daniel's painting and she ridiculously climbs.
No, ridiculously falls multiple times.
Over and over again. It's bad. It's bad.
Like 5 times she tries to climb up with the hook in her hand, mind you, no less. The meat.
The hook that she took from one of the Goth dudes.
Right. Well, it was actually the hook that
David had in the very beginning. Yeah. Yep.
Which they were trying to pin on him, whatever. But yeah, she takes that hook finally after what feels like 10 minutes of her trying to climb up this fucking anthill.
Were they just trying to fill time?
I think they were just trying to fill time because this film was only like an hour and a half long. But she finally gets up there and slashes the hook through Daniel Robitaille's self-portrait, effectively killing him by him blowing up.
But then she accidentally sets fire to this.
Okay,
weird altar thing.
Right. There was a candle that got knocked over that inadvertently set the painting ablaze,
and then Candyman himself fucking explodes in the most ugliest CGI bullshit I've ever seen in my life. Okay, maybe not the worst. I've seen worse.
No, because
it's pretty bad.
The CGI mirror explosion at the end of 2 was really bad too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was as bad as this, but it was bad.
But this is, we get like a full on close-up of Candyman's face being exploded by fire and stretched out by fire. I don't know.
I think there actually was like a legit shot of him in there with like burn makeup on or something.
Oh, really?
I kind of looked like it. It didn't look like it was 100% CG. I overanalyze shit all the time. Why do you think we do this shit?
Yeah, exactly. But, so then the racist cop shows up. Because when we think that everything's all said and done, Candyman's fucking gone. No, the racist cop shows back up and tries to kill Caroline with a hook. And is promptly shot in the back by Detective Matthews.
Played by Ernie Hudson Jr.
Right, Ernie Hudson Jr.'s character from earlier. And as he's dying,
so Detective Kraft was also taken off the force and forced to turn in
fired
his badge because of his racist tendencies and all this other stuff. Basically, Matthews got a can.
Serves him right.
Right, no, it serves him right. But as Kraft lays dying...
As I lay dying.
That's exactly where my mind went to. Okay. As Kraft lays dying, Kraft says, "I'm the Candyman." Mm-hmm. And Caroline has a flashback to her mom telling her that she needs to kill the myth. So she says to everyone, Kraft was the Candyman.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not fucking believable at all.
It's not real. None of this happened. Kraft was the one who did all of it.
And if you believe that, I got some beachside front property in Nevada to sell you.
Apparently everybody in the fucking movie believes it, though. Idiots.
Right,
a bunch of friggin' idiots. That's
because Detective Matthews basically is then later, like in the next scene, shown reading a statement from the police department explaining what has happened.
Right. And then we kind of just cut forward to them celebrating the Day of the Dead at the cemetery
with the ofrenda on Caroline's mother's plot.
Yeah.
Which makes you wonder, is that LA or is that Louisiana?
Well, that's what I'm wondering too. Not only am I wondering that, but also they actually talk about, and maybe this is just being a widow and noticing things like this, but David's wife died and they have a child, and that child is with them at the cemetery. Why aren't they at his wife's grave?
maybe they're just at her mom's grave first, or they've already visited.
Yeah, but again,
his mom's
are
grave.
they in Louisiana? Are they in the Where
Right.
are we?
Right.
When are we?
Right.
Where are we? When are we? This movie's a fucking mess, and it's trash, and it's a bloody machete down from me.
2.
Bloody
Straight
hook down. Whatever. This movie's trash. It's awful. If you didn't watch it, at least hopefully you enjoyed this video that we just gave to you, because I guarantee you this video you just watched was more entertaining than that piece of crap movie that we had to sit through. So,
well, we didn't have to.
Well, we didn't have to, but we did sit through this for you, to tell you don't need to bother with it.
The only redeeming quality of this is the racist cop got exactly what the fuck he deserved.
Exactly. That's
the only good thing I can say about it, because the acting was terrible, the script was terrible.
Well, and I mean, like Tony Todd, he's still the most handsome.
But
that voice,
they changed.
I know they fucked up Candyman's entire.
Not even like okay.
They tried to turn him into a slasher.
Exactly.
It was a response from Scream and the revitalization of the slasher genre and everything that was happening at the time. They wanted to cash in on that, and they did a terrible fucking job doing it.
Yes, they did.
That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
And with 2 bloody machetes down, we are getting it the fuck out.
Almost hit Amy.
Go to the land of the dead.
Yes.
Be happy.
Bye. What should we do next? Can we do one that like a good one? Can we do one of my favorite movies of all time?
Define good, because you think Terrifier's good.
Okay, I know, and I get the feeling that you don't actually really like this movie that much, but it is one of my favorite movies of all time. It legit shot straight up to my top 5 movies the very first time that I saw it, and it hasn't.
I enjoy the fact that it's totally 100% and completely, utterly subverts the whole trope of cabin in the woods. With that being said, what do you think we're doing? Oh,
ooh, another one. Cabin in the Woods. Come back next week. Please come back next week. Actually, go watch this movie. This is a movie that I watch at least once a year, sometimes twice a year.
I watch this sometimes laying in bed.
It's so entertaining. It's so funny. It's just great. So go watch it, and then come back next week and watch our video and our analyzation of The Cabin in the Woods. Because, again, like I said, it's like one of my favorite movies of all time. Yes, I am hugging Candyman's hook. But yeah, come back. And don't forget to slash that subscribe button.
Stab that like button.
And ring the great bell so you don't get lost in the mix and you keep up to date with all of our new videos. And until next time, we will see you all
in the afterlife.